Metropolitan Library System is an important part of the metro area's culture, community, history, and economic development, and is a resource for active learners and residents from every part of Oklahoma County. The Metropolitan Library has 19 locations in Oklahoma City and surrounding areas, and each is a place of learning and enrichment that advances with time and technology, as well as being a hub for local activities, culture, and community events. We want to take you on a journey through the Metropolitan Library System to show you how your library card gives you access to a world of published materials, digital media, online learning, support and coaching, experiences and expertise, and so much more. Together with library staff and individuals in the community, we're going to give you an inside look at the resources and opportunities that are free and at your fingertips. And it all starts at your local library. Established in 1965, the Metropolitan Library System has 19 locations in Oklahoma County. Each location was built to be a convenient place for the community to seek out new information and technologies.
Since the Metropolitan Library System was created in the 1960s, we've grown from just a handful of libraries to a total of 19 libraries. But whether you live in Edmond, Oklahoma City, War Acres, Bethany, Luther, or Jones, or any other municipalities within the county, you have access to the materials that reside at any of those locations. You can check out books, you can place hold and reserve items, and get those materials, including whether it's online or doing a physical visit to our library.
The materials available through the Metropolitan Library include physical items from every one of its locations, such as books, magazines, DVDs, CDs, and more, as well as online e-resources, downloadable content, and even online streaming. We want to ensure that this material has value and relevance to you and can be delivered to you no matter what city or location you live in within the county. We do this through the teams that select and process the materials, as well as deliver them to a convenient location near you. The first step in this process is selection by the Department of Collection Anywhere.
Collection Anywhere is the group of departments that are responsible for the behind-the-scenes work of getting the materials out to customers. So we have Collection Development, which is responsible for selecting the materials, cataloging that gets them all organized and into the catalog, Tech Processing gets them all stickered and labeled and covered with book jackets and ready to go out on the shelves so that they stay there for a really long time in good condition. So even though collections is a behind-the-scenes thing, we are still very, very concerned with making sure that what we do is directly beneficial to the customers that we have. We make sure we try to get the books and materials that we want, that we make sure they're easily findable, and that they're processed in such a way that it's easy for you to take home and take good care of them and get them back to us so that more people can use them. Our whole goal is to make sure that we provide what the community needs and wants.
Once the materials are selected, purchased, and processed, the books, DVDs, and CDs are delivered to the libraries and shuttled between locations to end up on the shelf or in your hands.
At the system, I'm one of the route drivers. There's 4 of us. And basically what we do is we go to the libraries and pick up all the books, CDs, DVDs, anything that you can check out, we pick them up. The library has a system where, as a customer, you can go to the library and reserve a book or anything else, and we will go get that book from the home library and take it to wherever you are at. We have 3 trucks that are driving all day. Those trucks are basically full of, in a day we probably move maybe 20 or 22 of these bins here, sometimes up to 30. And then we have these red totes here, and we probably pick up 30 or 40 of those a day.
Although the library has traditionally been known for the physical materials that you check out, the Metropolitan Library has continued to trend forward with technology both online and on personal or handheld devices. This includes magazines and newspapers, ebooks and audiobooks that can be accessed online or on your personal device, as well as the many free online e-resources for online learning, job preparedness and skills, homework help, and more.
When we buy materials, we try to buy things on a variety of topics and in a variety of formats, including physical print books, DVDs, books on CD, playaways. We also have streaming video and music, as well as ebooks, and a lot of electronic databases that help our students and the rest of our community do their research on any topic that's of interest to them. The circulation of print and physical materials has been increasing. The circulation of electronic materials has been increasing by leaps and bounds. So ebooks, and particularly e-audiobooks, are something where we just see a huge number of requests as well as a huge number of circulations. The number just keeps growing all the time.
I have been using ebook resources with Metropolitan Library System since about 2008 or 2009, right when they first came out. So I originally started it because I was going on trips and wanted to take books with me. And I called the library and said, is there any way I can load up my iPod with some books? And she said yes, and that's when she told me about ebooks and walked me through the whole process. I haven't missed getting to read my books. It's made my life so much easier getting to check out the ebooks. I can be in Machu Picchu, Peru and check out a book. I can't do that by coming into the library in Machu Picchu, Peru, or Russia, or England, or anywhere else. And I do that. I check out books from all over the world. How many books have I read through the Metropolitan Library System? Ebooks? Wow, I would say well over 1,000. Maybe over 2,000, and that's not counting the audiobooks I've listened to. Audiobooks probably 500. I would encourage anybody to check out on the ebooks. And the real advantage to me is, if I'm in Barbados, or I'm in Turkey, or I'm in wherever, I can check another book out. And that's an advantage. And the older I get, it may be a big advantage.
One of my favorite resources is Signing Savvy. It's an online American Sign Language database, and I started using that when my children were babies because I was trying to teach them baby signs. And that was really helpful because when my daughter was about 6 months old, she started signing more and drink, and it really helped to open up communication between us, which lowered my frustration and hers as well. So I kept Signing Savvy on my smartphone, and we would go to the zoo, and all the animals that we saw, she would ask, "What is this?" And we would look up the sign right then and there. I also use lynda.com because they have free online tutorials on a wide range of different subjects. Everything from computer programming to photography, which is what I love to use it for. I can do it from my home at any time of day. I don't have to stop and take a class. I don't have to take time off from work and take time away from my family to learn the things that I want to learn.
One of our valuable online resources for kids is Culturegrams, and Culturegrams lets you look at different countries and their culture, like whether it's their flag or what they eat. It can be a great homework help resource for kids. Another great resource that we have is Canopy Kids, which is part of Canopy, which is a digital streaming video service that we have that has movies, documentaries on it, but Canopy Kids is specifically for kids. It has PBS favorites, age-appropriate documentaries, so educators could use them in their classrooms, homeschool parents can use it. It's a really fun resource with a lot of, like I said, movies, TV shows, and documentaries.
Your Metropolitan Library Card is an all-access pass to these many resources, both in libraries and online. And it's all available to cardholders for free.
Anyone that lives in the county has access to utilize our resources, and they are free of charge at the time that you come and use. As long as you're a resident of Oklahoma County, you can get a library card, and that allows you to check out books, physical books in the library, but also online, and to utilize our databases and electronic resources. We also have more than 500 computers that are available for use for persons in our community that may not have access to those technology resources at their home. This allows several things to happen in our community, to include cultural development and awareness, but also economic development, training for people to find ways to better their life and improve their skills.
Community building is a major aspect of the Metropolitan Library system. Our programs and services for children, teens, and adults make up a network of clubs, classes, teams, and long-lasting relationships that make the library a celebrated meeting place for the community. This is made possible through the dedication of our staff in all aspects of the day-to-day activities throughout the library system, including our librarians, back office staff, hundreds of volunteers, and the thousands of cardholders who use our libraries every day.
I just can't imagine our library existing and being the best that we can be without our libraries being the very core of what we are here in Oklahoma City. As a commissioner, I love that each month our commission meetings are held in one of our 19 libraries. And as I visit each of our libraries, I am struck by how much that library is a true reflection of the community in which they serve. So from the staff with how they interact with their patrons, the programming that our staff offers to the patrons in that community, even the design of the library. Each of our libraries is unique and a true reflection of the community in which they serve. They're the hub of that community. And so hats off to our staffs in each of our 19 libraries because they truly get it. Our libraries are the hub of our communities. They're important and they're more relevant now than ever.
Throughout the library system, there are programs specifically designed for children to help with learning and understanding school subjects, extracurriculars, or even new skills and hobbies. Some of these include children reading to dogs sessions, Crazy Eights Math Club, Family Story Time, Parachute Playtime, Music Time, our annual summer reading program, and many other clubs and classes that meet at the library each week.
As a children's librarian at the Metropolitan Library System, I can honestly say we have some great resources for parents and children. I get to work with our elementary students. So we do a kids club, which is for elementary students. We do crazy science experiments. We do art projects together. All of our programs we work really hard for them to have value and educational value for our kids. And one example of that is our Crazy Eights Math Club, which by its very definition is a little crazy. It is not what you think of as a math club, where you think, oh, they're probably sitting down and doing math problems. No, they're applying what they're learning in the classes to these really fun activities where we do marshmallow catapults, where we build catapults and we see how far they can launch the marshmallow. We did glow sticks and we did geometry and we talked about angles with the glow sticks. We even did a zip line for their stuffed animals. They each got to bring a stuffed animal and we talked about angles of the zip line, and they got to see how fast they could send their stuffed animal down the zip line. It was so much fun, and it's great because the kids are applying what they're learning in their math classes to these really fun activities, and they have really no idea that they're using math. One of my favorite programs is the Children Reading to Dogs program, and it has such an important impact on these kids because it allows them to build confidence in their reading. So to give a little background on what Children Reading to Dogs is we have therapy dogs come inside of the library with their owner, and the kids get to sit down. They have 15 minutes with the dog and they get to read, and there's no pressure for them to be a really good reader or anyone's that's going to correct them, but it's also inspiring confidence in their reading, and it's so much fun to get to do. We have regulars that come into the Belle Isle Library who every Thursday they're there and they're so excited to see which dogs are going to come that day, and they're excited about reading, which is the most important part of that program.
My name is Abby and I'm 8 years old. My mom read 7 books to me at night, before I went to bed, and I started reading when I was about 3. I read like easy books like Nancy Fancy. I like those books. And Pinkalicious. The most I usually get, if they let me go above the limit, is 35. I like reading to the dogs. You get to read to a dog and get to pet them, and you usually get to read to 3 dogs. They listen and they like to be petted. I like the summer reading program because you get to read all different books and you try to reach your goals and you get prizes. And parachute. I loved parachute. You got in the middle one time and all the others would bounce up the parachute and you would get bounced, and then they would throw in like pom-poms and you would try to go get them, and the parents would be flipping them everywhere. It was so much fun. And then story time, you get to you sit on a mat, and there's like little squares you can sit on, and Cheryl's has a middle, and there's like a table behind her, and it has like 3 or 4 different books, and she reads all those books to you. One time I sat on cross-legged on the floor, and I talked for about 30 minutes to a librarian, and she was putting away books. Well, we just talked about dogs and how our dogs were doing, how cats were doing, what kind of books do you read. I'd like to read 20,000. Well, I'd like to.
I bring my students to the library every other week. One of the things that I love about coming to the downtown library, as opposed to our school having a library on campus, is that there are librarians here, plenty of librarians here that really know the children's library and know the books that the kids have available for them. And so it's not as much on my shoulders to know where books are and what books they could check out. It is really helpful to have somebody that is here all the time, knows the books so well, and can help my students. And a familiar face, my kids always look forward to seeing Miss Chelsea and Miss Abby, and that has been really helpful for me, so then I can go around and float between kids, but I know that they have an excellent resource in the children's librarians here, and that's really helpful for us coming to the library. We come to find a good fit book, and so books that are on level for them and books that are interesting to them, and so I really try to direct them to, we're here to check out books, we're here because reading is fun, we become better readers by the different books that we check out. If I know that I have a unit or a theme for my classroom coming up, I can reserve the books that I want, and then I can come and get them. And another way that I do that, you can do that online, and I can do that for myself personally, but for my classroom, I love that the children's librarians down here will let us email them and say, I want any books on this topic, and they'll have them all ready for us whenever we show up. And so I can look through those books and I can pick out which ones are really going to apply and help my kids dig deeper into a certain unit. And they'll have all of those ready for me, and I can leave the ones that I don't want, and I can take the ones that I do and bring them back when we're finished with our unit. And they're always very understanding about when it comes back, if it's not just 2 weeks later, but we're continuing to dig into that study. But I love coming to the library, and so I go out of my way to make sure that we come for sure every other week.
In addition to children's programs, our staff focuses on maintaining valuable programs for teens and young adults at the library. There are a variety of teen programs at all of our libraries. Some of them include teen book clubs, game nights, escape rooms, teen advisory boards, and many other clubs and programs that happen year-round for teens.
I'm the Teen Services Manager. I help coordinate and implement programs and services for teenagers and young adults. We have so many teens in the library working on homework or hanging out with their friends. The library is a great, safe place for teens to gather, and we are helping them with just whatever they need help with, connecting them with information they need. And so when we have programs and events, it kind of helps broaden what they're interested in, helps them kind of celebrate what they're excited about with their friends and their families, and really, let them know all the things that we have in the library that are related to them. We have like coding and juggling and music making kits, all kinds of science, technology, engineering art and math programs. But then there's also like advanced things like soldering, you know, so teens and adults can make their own jewelry, all kinds of fun things. So there's several hundred events that go on every year. Summer reading is our big time because kids are out of school and so they're in our libraries, and there's lots of activity, there's lots of talking about books and engaging with all ages in the community for that event, so it's a lot of fun. We have a teen advisory board or a teen service team at a lot of libraries, and that's really a great community building program that we do where teens can get volunteer hours, really give input into what they want their library to be and the kind of programs and events they want at their library, so they can really take a leadership role through that. We write a lot of job recommendations and sign off on volunteer hours for teenagers all the time in the library system, and that's something we love to do. I really see working with teens as something that our staff is very passionate about. You know, children get brought to the library by their parents. A lot of times adults are often seeking resume help or some kind of specific information. And teens are kind of in that in-between state where they're really just starting to figure things out, and they might not have any other adults in their life that are not teachers or parents. And so our library staff can kind of act as that supportive, non-judgmental adult that's there to listen and help and guide in teens' lives.
The Metropolitan Library is available as a place for children, teens, and families to grow and learn. But it's also a place for adults to continue learning, as well as access free resources that improve their lives and better their skills. We have many programs and services for adults, including computer help, genealogy classes, book clubs, Tai Chi and yoga classes, homework help, creative writing classes, citizenship classes, and more.
I've been taking courses at the Metropolitan Library for about a little more than a month. I am studying to become a citizen. I am from Mexico, Durango, Mexico. I've been here almost all my life. They brought me since I was a year and 3 months. So basically I was, raised here in the United States. I work all day, so, afternoon classes were great for me. And it wasn't something that, okay, classes start a certain day and we can't take you if the class is already midway in or anything. The teachers are really good with working with you, kind of catching up with you. They have different subjects every week. We don't really take a test, but we do practice for the 100 questions. For me, it was really good because, one, it is free. It was close to where I live. And two, it's easy. They break it down, the lessons, and they just explain. They're really good on explaining everything if we have questions and stuff like that. And I really like it, yeah.
When I moved to America in 2006, one of the first things that I was looking for was access to the internet. And back then it wasn't that easy, and the library had it. That was the main reason I started being a member of the library, and then the books, and then the printouts. Stuff like that you can do at the library. The current class I've been attending for the past 2 months, every Thursday. Having been a member of the library for so long, and knowing that the library is backing this up, it reassured me that this was something legit in first place, and all the information I was going to be given was going to be what it should be, and that's probably one of the reasons I decided to do it with the library. They have a huge team of teachers and organizers that will always be there. Material-wise, they provide for it. You don't have to buy any prints, you don't have to buy any material, you don't have to buy books. They offer also the convenience to use the library computers and the Wi-Fi, the internet, if you don't have internet at home, to fill out your application online, and that's actually what I did. All of that can be done at the library without even have to, spend money in any other things other than some copies if you want to do copies. They will start a new class as soon as this is over, so they continue the program, and that's a great thing, I think, that's happening aside from all the other programs that the library has.
Our many programs at the Metropolitan Library System are only possible because of the passionate employees we have on staff, as well as the incredible number of volunteers who donate their time. Hundreds of teens and adults are a part of the volunteer program at the library and create better opportunities and spaces for people to learn and to become involved.
We have right now between 600 and 700 volunteers that help in the library system. About half of those are adult volunteers and about half of those are teen volunteers. We usually have about 350 teen volunteers in the summertime, and then some of those volunteer throughout the year. Volunteers can do all kinds of things to help the library. For the summer reading program in particular, teen volunteers help customers sign up, they help with programs, they read one-on-one with children. We have programs that we do throughout the library using adult volunteers that we wouldn't be able to hold without the volunteers. We have homework help programs in lots of our libraries. We have children reading to dogs programs where we have therapy dogs that come in and children read to the therapy dogs. We also have people who volunteer with us that their passion is reading and their passion is spreading the love of libraries, but they have other full-time jobs, and so it's a great way for volunteers to give back to their community and fulfill the passion that they have to make a difference. When our volunteers can be a part of that process, be a part of that joy, be a part of that spark in a big or a small way, it really makes a difference, and it's so impactful to the volunteers. It makes them want to come again and again and again and be more and more involved, and we're just so grateful.
We want to remain relevant to our customers. We want them to have access to the cutting edge technology that's available to other people in other municipalities, in other towns, in other states. We also want to make sure that this is a place where people connect. We live in a digital world where everything is online. A lot of what we do revolves around our cell phones and television and electronic resources, so the library continues to find resources that will allow our customers to be connected. Our goal and mission remains to grow smarter communities one person at a time. We want to be that hub for critical thinking, creative problem solving, and lifelong learning and enrichment. The library is a fun place. It's not just a place where you come because you have to come, but we want it to be a place where you come because you want to come and you can have fun, to meet up with people. We have community spaces and meeting rooms and study rooms where people can collaborate, communicate, and connect.
The Metropolitan Library System is a valuable and free resource for residents in every part of Oklahoma County. As the library system continues to grow and advance, we offer new technologies and resources for you to expand your knowledge and expertise in ways that best fits your lifestyle. Whether you want to become a card holder at the library so that you can check out items in person, learn online, attend our programs or classes, or connect with others in the community, we encourage you to take your own journey through the Metropolitan Library and sign up for a library card today. Go to www.metrolibrary.org to find out more and sign up for a Metropolitan Library card. Your journey starts here, and the world is at your fingertips.